In 2019, Ukraine held a democratic election that resulted in a geopolitical anomaly. For a brief period, the country's president, Volodymyr Zelensky, and its prime minister, Volodymyr Groysman, were both Jewish. Outside of Israel, no other nation on earth shared this demographic reality at the highest levels of government. This political milestone stands in sharp contrast to the region's historical reputation. For centuries, Eastern Europe, and the lands that make up modern Ukraine in particular, were widely known as the epicenter of violent anti-Jewish riots, known as pogroms, and later, the site of some of the most horrific atrocities of the Holocaust. How do we reconcile these two extremes? How does a country with such a devastating history of anti-Semitic violence elect a Jewish head of state with over 70% of the popular vote? To understand the identity of modern Ukraine, we have to look closely at its 1,000-year Jewish history. It is a story of a community swinging violently back and forth between brilliant cultural integration on one side and existential threat on the other. This map shows Eastern Europe around the 10th century. Notice the territories of the Khazar Khaganate and Kiev and Rus. Long before modern borders existed, nodes of Jewish merchants and craftsmen were already settling here, successfully integrating into the local trade networks. Over the next few centuries, those small settlements grew. By the time the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth controlled the region, Jews made up nearly 20% of the urban population. Many found work as arrendators, estate managers hired by the Polish nobility to oversee their lands. This specific socioeconomic role placed them directly between the wealthy Catholic landlords and the heavily taxed and serfed Ukrainian Orthodox peasants. To the peasants, the Jewish estate managers became the daily, visible face of their economic oppression. That tension erupted in 1648 during the Khmelnytsky uprising. Ukrainian Cossacks and peasants rebelled against Polish rule, directing their rage at the estate managers. Tens of thousands of Jews were massacred, and hundreds of communities were entirely wiped off the map. This era established a brutal historical cycle. Periods of deep economic and social integration directly set the stage for sudden, catastrophic violence. By the late 18th century, the Russian Empire had absorbed much of this territory. To control their newly acquired Jewish subjects, the imperial government drew a restrictive boundary stretching from the Baltic to the Black Sea, called the Pale of Settlement, confining where Jews lived. Forced into these designated areas, the population faced severe overpopulation and crushing poverty. The Russian state imposed strict quotas on education and employment, and frequently encouraged deadly mob attacks in major cities. But this intense pressure generated a radical surge of internal innovation. Looking for hope outside of traditional scholarly study, communities here birthed Hasidic Judaism, a populist spiritual movement focused on mysticism, joy, and direct connection to God. Simultaneously, secular movements were exploding in these confined towns. The foundations of modern Yiddish literature were written here by authors like Sholem Aleichem, while activists in Odessa published the earliest pamphlets calling for a separate Jewish political state, the roots of modern Zionism. The Russian Empire attempted to isolate and suffocate its Jewish population. Instead, that confinement inadvertently forged the foundational movements of modern global Jewish identity. After the fall of the Russian Empire in 1917, a newly declared Ukrainian People's Republic offered a brief glimpse of true autonomy. Yiddish was recognized as a state language, and the government established a dedicated ministry for Jewish affairs, the first of its kind in the modern world. That fragile autonomy collapsed almost immediately into the chaos of the Russian Civil War. Between 1918 and 1921, rival factions, particularly the anti-communist White Army, perpetrated thousands of pogroms across the region, killing tens of thousands of Jewish civilians. 2 decades later, the Nazi invasion brought total devastation. German Einsatzgruppen, often aided by local collaborators, executed a targeted campaign of extermination. Before the death camps in Poland were fully operational, they turned ravines like Babin Yar into mass graves, murdering an estimated 900,000 Jews across Ukraine. Those who survived the war faced a new Soviet regime that actively suppressed Jewish culture. State-sponsored memorials at massacre sites systematically erased the specific Jewish identity of the victims, labeling them generically as peaceful Soviet citizens. The 20th century demonstrated the darkest extreme of the historical pendulum: systemic, state-sponsored attempts at total physical and cultural erasure. This line graph maps the demographic collapse. From a pre-war peak of 2.7 million, the Jewish population within Ukraine's borders plummeted to under 500,000 by the late 1980s. As the Soviet Union fractured, most who remained emigrated to Israel and the West. That mass exodus scattered Ukrainian Jewish heritage across the globe. It shaped immigrant communities in New York and produced pivotal international figures, including early Israeli prime ministers like Golda Meir, who was born in Kyiv. For those who stayed in an independent Ukraine, the post-Soviet era brought the reopening of schools, synagogues, and sprawling community complexes, like the seven-towered Menorah Center in Dnipro. By the 21st century, Jewish life was deeply integrated into the new national identity. When Russia invaded in 2022, that integrated identity was put to the test. In a tragic historical irony, Russian missiles struck near Holocaust memorials and historic synagogues, while Jewish Ukrainians took up arms to fight on the front lines alongside their fellow citizens. In late 2024, the head of Ukraine's military intelligence participated in a highly symbolic ceremony. He stood before the Jewish community and lit a Hanukkah crafted entirely from the jagged, scorched metal of Russian drones fired at Ukrainian cities. Ukraine's Jewish heritage has moved from a history of victimhood at the periphery to a place at the center of the nation's defensive identity. The pendulum has swung from the threat of total erasure to a community that is now inseparable from the country's modern survival.